Hey there, thanks for joining us today. I'm Jordan Newton with SonicAire. Thanks for joining this broadcast. Today we're talking all things parts, service, repairs, commissioning, and today I have with me Brock Randell from SonicAire service team, our service manager. Thanks for joining us today, Brock.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad I can be here.
So you've been with SonicAire like 9 years now, I think it is?
9 years.
Yeah, and you started out, what were you doing when you started?
I started working on our first generation fan, SA 1.0. I started working and building those, and then graduated on to building SA 2.0s. And then with my electrical experience, I moved into the panel shop, started making control panels. And so I've kind of gone through every area of SonicAire at one point or another.
Yeah, so now you get to take all those things that you put together and built along the way and make sure they keep running and keep working.
And diagnose it and make sure they're going good, yeah. And I love that part of my job.
That's awesome. All right, so today we're going to dig into some of the issues, some of the questions, some of the things that customers may be concerned about or maybe a little apprehensive about. So want to understand from you, Brock, as you are involved in some of the installs on the front end from a commissioning process and things like that. And then along the way, you go out and you service these fans and you keep them running and make sure they run for many, many years, and customers sometimes send those fans back to us so we can repair them, get them going again, get them back out in the field. So where does that take you? Where does that lead you? What are some of the top questions that you get asked when the phone rings? Let's start there. When the phone rings,
a lot of
what are customers asking you?
The biggest question most of the time is wanting to have a manual for a piece of equipment, wanting a ladder diagram or some sort of schematic for a control panel, things like that. Just information about their system, what they just purchased, and how to correctly install it and how it runs and operates and stuff like that. So that would be probably the biggest thing. The most asked question is just getting the customer information that he needs about his equipment and then helping him understand his equipment better.
So how do you usually respond to that? Where do you direct them to? Do you just
even now on all of our fans, you have a QR code, which will lead you directly to the manuals that are in that fan. So that's one way, easiest way, and you can also call Parts and Service Department at any time or send an email, and we will help you get, if you can't find it or you somehow can't get that QR code to pull up, you just call us and we can digitally send you manuals and help you understand your equipment.
Perfect. So if I'm the customer now, talk to Brock, I've been introduced to Brock, I know where to go. Brock sent me the emails and the literature and the information I need. So then what? Then what's next? So the next time you hear from that customer, what might he or she be saying to you?
One of the second biggest questions is, how do I integrate my fire alarm system in with my control panel? A lot of times customers will buy their control panel and for obvious reasons, you would want to tie in your fan system in with your fire alarm. So if a fire happens, even if it's in another section of the plant, you don't want your fans running while a fire is going, because that's just plenty of oxygen feeding it. So not all of our customers will normally tie it in, but there's a certain process to do that so that it works congruently with your fire alarm system, and it works with suppression systems and different things as well. But we have actually, you get to see my pretty face on a video that kind of explains that more in detail, and we'll show you step-by-step instructions. So if you're having troubles with that, you can reach out to the service team, Parts and Service Department, and I'm sure we'll have information on how to get in contact with us at some point in this video, but we'll be able to point you in the right direction and either send you the video, or if you've had the video and you still have questions, we can answer those and make sure that your control panel and fan system works with your fire control system as well.
And that's built into every panel?
That's built into every panel.
Cool. Okay.
So every panel has that feature.
Okay. Do you often get involved with like the fire alarm folks, or is it normally just the customer that you kind of end up working with?
Well, it's usually both.
Okay.
So usually the fire alarm people will have to come in and run a dry contact relay or some sort of station close to the control panel, and from there the electrician will usually like tie in to the fire alarm system and back to the panel.
Okay.
It's usually how that works.
Okay.
So usually the fire alarm people do have to be involved in one way, shape, form, or another, and then the electrician will normally do like land the wires in the panel and stuff like that. The fire alarm people don't tend to want to do that.
Gotcha. All right, so I've got the information I need. I know I've got the wiring diagrams. I've got my fans installed. The fans are hooked up and running. My fire alarm system is hooked into my control panel. Life is good, right?
Life's good.
And these fans are going to run forever.
At least 10 years.
10 years. So, and that's the question I get asked. How long are SonicAire fans good for? And you know, I think we're all on the same page there. We're trying to build a 10-year fan that's going to last in the harshest, most robust environments and run continuously. But there are times, these are mechanical, electrical machines and appliances, and sometimes they break down.
Yes.
Right? So I imagine you're the first guy they call when that happens, right?
We are the team they call for that.
If my fan stops working and they give you a call, how's that unfold from there? How can you help me get my fan going again? Because that's all I care about.
Right.
If my fan's not working, I need it working.
It needs to be running now.
Again. So
first thing we do is basically I'll have you let me know what's going on, like any obvious things that you see happening. The fan is a pretty simple machine. You have 4 major components.
Okay.
Coming in from your power side, you have a slip ring, and that harnesses, like, it's 3-phase 460 volt or 575, 208, whatever you guys have at that facility. Our fans can be made to accommodate that voltage, but it just goes through the slip ring, and then the slip ring allows the fan to rotate 360 degrees and still keep the power engaged and all that stuff. So that's important, but that's like the power harness. And from there it goes to the EBA, which then branches off to our gear motor.
What's the EBA?
Excuse me, electrical board assembly, which kind of transfers the power.
Right.
Basically, it comes in from the slip ring and it transfers from there to the fan motor and to the gear motor.
Okay.
And those are the 3 major systems. The 4th one that I would say would be the iDrive system. That's more mechanical and it involves the gear motor. Right. That's another aspect of your fan that sometimes we'll see issues with connecting links or stuff like that. We have several different options in the service team to be able to help provide for your needs. So the first thing would be, we can provide parts, we can troubleshoot what the issue is, we can provide you the parts that you need to get your fan back up and running, whether that's a slip ring, gear motor, anything that you could possibly need on that fan, we can provide for you. The second option would be, if you guys don't have the manpower or time to work on your equipment, it takes 15 to 30 minutes for you to go up and unhook the electrical and drop in the safety cables and drop the fan to the ground, and then you can send it in to us. We do a 16-point fan inspection. We clean the fan up. We fix anything that needs to be fixed, upgrade other components that we have upgradable components for. That goes back to us constantly trying to improve our fans. So we do have upgrades available, especially for older model fans. So we can do that at the shop, and we'll send it back to you in like new condition. You can just put it right back up in the ceiling. Or we can come out to your facility. We can figure out what is going on with the fans. You'll have an expert technician, sometimes myself included. We'll go out and troubleshoot the fans, fix them on site. And that is a little more expensive to do because you got to get someone on site, but it's more time efficient because there's less downtime. Sure. You're not taking it down, waiting a couple weeks for it to get fixed and sent back. And usually our lead time for fans like that, for factory repair fans, are 2 to 3 weeks. Would be the standard lead time, unless we got so many of that, and I would let you know that if we had a problem. But as far as more than 2 to 3 weeks. And so those are the 3 main options that I propose to customers of how we can get this equipment back up and running.
So let me ask you this. You mentioned parts. So if my fan breaks and I want to fix it myself, how long does it typically take for you to get parts to me?
So typically it's, from when I receive a PO for parts, it's a 2 to 3 day turnaround. And usually 2 days, and if it's a big order with a bunch of parts, whatever, sometimes that can bleed into 3 days. But for the most part, we do a 2 day turnaround from the time we receive a PO.
And those parts are stocked in your SonicAire warehouse?
We have a parts warehouse dedicated for just replacement kits and parts.
Right. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, right?
Right, straight from Winston-Salem.
So one way to avoid some of these common issues that we have seen over the past, sometimes it's occasionally improper setup and installation.
Correct.
I think we see that from time to time. So I know we've been working hard to come up with better ways to support that install and setup process. Some is through new videos and manuals and better information and things like that we're getting out there. But talk about some of the other options that customers have to try to do this on the front end to prevent this and ensure that they get the life expectancy that they're looking for out of their fans.
So the biggest thing I think for customers that we've just started offering in the past year is basically a SonicAire installation with our SonicAire installation partners and contractors that are certified installers and know what they're doing, know what they're talking about. And I say that is probably the best if you have the money to do it with a turnkey package with SonicAire, giving you the equipment and the setup and the system that you need, and then having a certified, trained SonicAire contractor and partner come out and put it in.
Sure.
It also, the added perk is it comes with a 2-year extended warranty, and then you have peace of mind that this equipment was put in by trained SonicAire professionals.
Sure.
I think that's huge, and then you know that would save you on worrying about whether it's installed incorrectly, and like you said, I would say a good 80% of the calls I get where it requires a warranty or broken part,
Sure.
something happens right out of the gate when they've had these fans 2 weeks and something's already wrong. 80% of the time in that situation, I've found that it was, especially if I'm going back behind, that it was improper installation.
Okay.
And it's just the devil's in the details, right? They're just little things. This is most contractors that have, besides certified contractors, obviously, haven't dealt with this equipment, and it's just the little details that if you miss can cause major problems.
Sure.
And so
they're just trying to get in, get out.
just trying to get in, on to the next job. I mean, that's what they're to try to make money and,
Sure.
and also but do a good job. But so we've seen a lot of issues with that, and so the best solution to that is having a SonicAire installation team install your fans. You'll have peace of mind knowing that these are installed properly and correctly, and you won't have any issues that resulted from just one little minor detail missed here or there in the installation process. The second way is that we do, and we've been doing this for longer, is a lot of people want to install their own fans, use their own team, or they have a contractor that is always on site.
Sure.
Like certain industries will basically keep a mechanical, electrical contractor, kind of like on call, like a lawyer or something.
Right.
If a customer wanted to do it themselves, have their own contractor, have their own team, whatever, if that's a maintenance team, do that.
Sure.
Then SonicAire offers, my team will come in behind them and check the installation, make sure everything is done correctly, make all your, T's are crossed, your I's are dotted, and all that stuff, and then we help the customer get everything started up, make sure everything is set up and oscillating correctly, exactly how they want it and is good for their process. Okay. And then we also do training while we're on site of how to operate their control panel. Okay. Like I'll take the maintenance tech or the plant manager, whoever wants to do it, up with me and just kind of show them the major components and how to adjust oscillations if they would like to tweak it as they use the fans more and things like that. But that also comes with a 2-year warranty that we've come behind and we say, hey, this system is installed correctly, it's operating properly, and we make sure it's running before we leave, and everybody at least has some knowledge of how to run and operate their system.
Got the stamp of approval.
Yeah, it's got the SonicAire stamp. That has been, and there's hardly been any of those that I've been on and that my team has been on where we haven't been able to find something that could have caused problems down the road.
Sure.
It's just like I said, the devil's in the details. So there's just little things about this equipment that if it's not properly done right, could cause problems. So it's always good to have that peace of mind and know everything's running and operating when we leave, and you don't have to worry about it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Some cost-effective peace of mind and really some cost-effective insurance with the extended warranty that comes with that service and the training and startup that goes along with that.
Correct.
Phenomenal. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I'll give you the last word. If you have any final thoughts to tell our customers or potential customers, any advice?
From being out in the field, let's see, 5 out. I've been on, in the field and running the service department for the last 5 years, I want to say, something like that. Yeah. Very close to that. Is like, it's amazing to see. So one thing that I talked to a person that was working he worked in the plant, and he basically. He was an operator or something, but he had other duties as well. When I came in and started up the fans, and he's seen how effective they were and they got all the dust down, he was the guy that had to go up there and vacuum that once a month. And he was like, he's like, thank you so much for putting these fans. I don't have to go up there and vacuum this crap out of that. Yeah. And it was cool to experience like how this equipment and this system actually affects the customers and the employees of the customers, affects their lives, and helps them be more safe and more efficient and not have to go up and do dangerous cleaning activities. We got something up there doing it 24/7 for them. Yeah, so.
I think that's one thing that we try to keep in mind is, we're in a B2B, business to business type environment. But what we always want to keep in mind is that we're actually just people doing business with people and trying to help people.
Right, and make their lives better. And being in and out of a lot of different facilities over the years, I've been able to see how it actually affects people and makes their lives better. And even as little as, hey, it's moving the air around, it feels cooler in here, kind of things. Like just to see how our equipment and what we do and what we provide affects other people and affects their work environment, makes it better for them. And that's rewarding for me.
Yeah, I love it. Safer, healthier, more efficient work environments.
That's what we're about.
That's what we're about. All right. So for Jordan Newton and Brock Randell, thanks for watching us today. We'll see you next time.